Hey guys, it's Andre from the East Village Times and the SDSU Football Podcast. Hope you guys are having a good day and still celebrating the thrilling last second finish victory from San Diego State against Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors. I wanted to, as I was rewatching this game on Sunday, I wanted to particularly look for that final drive, the 7-play drive orchestrated by Jalen Mayden that put the Aztecs in position to kick the winning field goal from the 9-yard line. And I want to do a kind of a quick play-by-play breakdown of how that drive unfolded and what the Aztecs did to march their way down the field fairly easily, without much resistance from Hawaii's defense. So I have the final drive queued up. Before we get into the actual drive, I think it's important to note that the kickoff from Hawaii went out of bounds. So the Aztecs got the ball at the 35 instead of the 25. If it was a touchback and maybe even closer to the end zone than the 25, if they did not return it all the way. Max Garrison, who, if you read Paul Garrison's grades article this week, actually was the second kickoff returner in the second half, next to Jordan Byrd instead of Breon Penny. And so that kind of shows as a true freshman what Max, how he's worked his way up. But it's potential that the Hawaii kicker made it a point to kick to the right side instead of the left side to Jordan Byrd, which most kickers kick, right-footed kickers kick right to left. Which is why Jordan Byrd has gotten almost all the kickoff returns this year and not Breon Penny. But with Max Garrison to the kicker's right, maybe he wanted to kick it to the right and give the true freshman a chance to return it, and he shanked it out of bounds. So he kick right here that comes from Hawaii. And it looks like he wanted to pooch it because it's a very different kicking motion and goes out of bounds. Smartly, Garrison did not catch the ball because he could have caught it in bounds. And next thing you know, you probably go out of bounds at the 12, or you maybe not get actual far down the field. So as they're showing some clips from earlier in the game, the Aztecs had one timeout left, a minute 19 left on the clock, needing a field goal to win from the 35. So that 10 extra yards comes in very, very handy in this scenario. One thing you'll notice is on every play on all 7 plays on this drive, the Aztecs were in 10 personnel, meaning they've got 1 running back, Chance Bell, 0 tight ends, and 4 receivers. They've got Jesse Matthews, Tyrell Shavers, Mekhi Shaw, and Breon Penny, obviously, as the 4 receivers. You might wonder why Chance Bell is in there instead of someone like Jordan Byrd, who's better catching the ball, is faster. But as you'll see on this drive, the Aztecs threw mostly short, quick routes, and they kept the running back in to block. And Chance Bell is bigger than Jordan Byrd, stronger, so that's likely why he was out there instead of Jordan Byrd, because they utilized him to block and not go out for passes. So here's the first play, 1st and 10 from the 35 with a minute 19 left. You got trips on the right and 1 receiver on the left. In my opinion, this was Jalen Mayden's best play of the night and the most important play of the night, based on kind of the difficulty of this throw, hanging in the pocket. As you can see here, the Hawaii's got 4 guys at the line of scrimmage about to rush, and they bring a safety blitz from the top right here. This guy comes in, so they end up rushing 5. As we click play here, this edge guy beats BCD fairly quickly, which doesn't give Mayden a chance to get fully dropped back into where he wanted to go. The safety blitz is picked up by the right tackle and Chance Bell right there with him as well. Look at what Jalen Mayden does. He steps up, but there's 3 D linemen right in front of him that kind of close off his gap. He's got nowhere to run upfield. He could potentially run back out left now that the edge rusher has gone past him. But he also sees Tyrell Shavers here have a step on his corner. And as he steps up, he throws the pass. Fortunately for San Diego State, the corner covering Shavers stumbles and falls down, which gives Shavers an opportunity to be able to catch the ball cleanly. But as you can see here, I'll show you a different shot from the end zone later. But like, the reason why I felt like this was Mayden's best play of the night is because he essentially threw this ball almost blind because of the lineman in front of him. And you see this linebacker right here. If he throws that pass earlier than he actually does, then he probably throws it right to this guy. Instead, he waits for Shavers to clear, buys time right before the linemen are about to get to him, and is able to complete it to Shavers for the first down and 14 yards. Shavers does a good job catching it, holding on even despite the hit, and gets a first down. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Here, look at this angle right here. I'm going to freeze frame it right here. Look at the difficulty of this throw. Where he is, the lineman's got a hand up. You've got the linebacker here, and then Shavers has a step, but he's got the corner trailing right on him. I don't think Mayden realizes that this corner is going to slip and fall. So very impressive play by Mayden and Shavers. I want to show you a different angle that our EVT video guy Gio, who has been who got added to our team this year and has taken a great video of the home games. The recap videos that we put out after each home game is all his work. You can find him at nabarivisuals.com or at nabarivisuals on Twitter if you want to follow him and support him for all of his work. So here's the angle that Gio took from behind the end zone. It kind of just a different view of seeing Mayden kind of pocket collapse, step up, and find Shavers on the outside. As I said, in my opinion, this was the biggest and most important play of the game, because if he takes a sack, if he throws it early and that linebacker picks it off, chances are the rest, obviously the interception would have killed the game. But if he takes a sack, the time's running off the clock. They're going to be, 2nd and 15 or longer instead of, getting 14 yards and a first down. So I feel like this was a crucial play on this drive. So the second play, we've got a first down at their own 49 with 1:13 left. The clock is stopped. In this case, they've got 2 receivers on each side, not trips on the right anymore. And if you'll notice, Hawaii does not blitz. They only rush 4, and the offensive line blocks it. And Mayden's got a clean pocket here to see what he can do. Mekhi Shaw runs a quick 4-yard out pattern. Mayden finds him. Shaw does a good job of catching, getting his feet in, and getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Which brings up a 2nd and 6 at the Hawaii 47 with 1:08. The Aztecs go back to trips on the right, 1 to the left. Once again, Hawaii rushes only 4, does not blitz. I think they maybe after that first play, they got a little gun shy, at least for their next 2 plays. Mayden here has a pretty clean pocket, a quick step. You can see here, Mayden is looking for Shavers on a quick inside slant, and the receiver is all over Shavers and gets called for a defensive pass interference, which gives the Aztecs a first down. Clock stops. It was only a 6-yard penalty because of the spot foul, but it still gave the Aztecs a first down at the Hawaii 41. There's the ref making the call. If you look at the replay, It's tough to say whether Shavers would have gotten to the spot where the ball was thrown. It was very Mayden definitely led him. Obviously, it was a right call because Shavers was interfered with. It's just hard to say whether he would have. He probably would have had a chance to catch the ball. I do think it was a right call, but it gave them 6 yards, stops the clock, and they've got a first down at the 41. Hawaii ends up calling timeout here with the clock stopped. They had all 3 timeouts left. At this point, they're probably thinking, okay, we blitzed a safety first play and we gave up 14 yards. We didn't blitz and we gave up, dinking small plays, right? We gave up a 4-yard out and then a defensive pass interference short. That could have been a potentially a 6 or 7 yard catch without the DPI. So it's interesting to see now that they come back after their timeout, what they do. The Aztecs go back to trips on the right. And this time Hawaii plays their defense a little bit differently. They've got 4 guys at the line of scrimmage, but they bring 2 blitzers. They bring a safety up from here, and they've got the linebacker, and so they end up rushing 6. And look how the 5 offensive linemen and Chance Bell blocked this. Now, Mayden throws the ball real quick, which obviously helps the blockers, but he clean pocket, no one coming free at him. He has a nice chance to see which of the short receivers, because you look at here, all 3 guys are running short inside slants, essentially. He likes to match up here with Mekhi Shaw. He's got more separation than it looks like than the other 2 guys do. And he throws it to him for 6 yards. Now, the corner definitely made a good play on the ball and tried to knock the ball out of Shaw's hands. Shaw did a great job of holding on to the ball as he went to the ground because the defender closed that gap pretty quick. Right now, there's a minute. When that play ends, there's a minute left on the clock. This is the first time after one of these plays that the clock is still running for San Diego State, but they've got plenty of time. They still got their timeout. There's no panic from Mayden or any of the offensive line or the receivers. They're doing a great job of taking what the defense is giving them and just marching down the field, knowing that they need a field goal and not a touchdown. So on this play, they've got a 2nd and 3 at the Hawaii 34. Right as if they're about to snap the ball with 49 seconds left, Hawaii calls a timeout. One thing I realized when I watched the replay on this, technically the clock should have stopped at 49, but 2 more seconds went off before the clock operator stopped at 47. I thought they would have gone back and reset it, but they did not. 2 seconds could have been a huge deal for San Diego State if they needed another 2 seconds for time to, either spike the ball or have one more play for a field goal. So it didn't end up hurting San Diego State, as we all know how this game ends, but it was still odd that the referees and the game operator did not reset the clock back to 49. So as they come back from the timeout, the Aztecs are going to have a 2nd and 4 from the Hawaii 35 with 47 seconds left. So once again, just like they did on the previous play, Hawaii brings 2 blitzers, so they bring 6 again. And once again, the offensive line and the running backs did a great job picking up all 6 rushers. Let's look how this play develops. All 6 guys are essentially picked up man on man. Chance Bell does a great job picking up the blitzer. Nobody near Mayden in the pocket. He's got all his throwing angles. He can see, these 2, the 2 guys on the outside and the slot guy on the right haven't really made their breaks yet. He can see Mekhi Shaw kind of running, making a stop on his comeback route, and makes the easy throw to him for first down. Shaw gets 7. The clock is running. The play ended with about 42 seconds left on the clock, right? The clock stopped for the first down, but then ran once the chains were moved. And the Aztecs snapped the ball with 36 seconds left. So that was really quick to go from 42 when the play ends the clock stops for the chains, restarts, and they get the snap off with 36. This time, Hawaii does not blitz anybody. They just rush 4 and drop 7 into coverage. Mayden, this is probably the one throw out of the 7 plays where you could say maybe it wasn't the greatest decision. It was only a 3-yard gain. That the clock at this point is running. You might even want to say that it might have been better if Penny drops this ball because it only got a 3-yard gain and the clock was running. In which case, a 3-yard gain might not have been that important. The clock might have been more important on this play. But Penny still makes a great catch, 3 yards with 32 seconds left on the clock. And then so now here, in this case, you might see some teams panic. Maybe the quarterback get up and spike the ball. Or take too long, but really impressed with Mayden's the composure of the entire offense. They get it lined up, and they end up snapping this ball with 17 seconds left. Again, Hawaii decides not to blitz, drops 7 back, and rush 4. And if that first play of the drive wasn't the most important, obviously this was. And this was the different route. Instead of throwing these short outs or these short slants that they did pretty much the entire drive up to this point, this fade route for Penny that he beats his corner right here at the bottom of the screen, gets separation, gets past him, and Mayden just throws the ball up there, and Penny uses his height to get up there and make a great leaping catch, because there is that safety back here that was trying to make a play on the ball, but Penny didn't give him any chance to have it, a crack at the ball as he went up there and got it, gets a first down, 17-yard gain, 16-yard gain to the 9-yard line. At this point, you would think the Aztecs are going to run the clock down to 3 seconds, call their last timeout, and kick a 26-yard field goal. The clock was stopped because of the first down, but it does run. And Brady Hoke calls a timeout with 9 seconds. You can see him down here heading to the ref. 9 seconds left. I'm surprised at this. I think maybe if you ask Brady Hoke, he would have said that he probably should have let the clock run down to 3, because at this point, you're going to kick the field goal next. You're not going to run another play because there's just not enough time, and you really don't need any more yards. You're already in the 9-yard line, and you have a 26-yard field goal, chip shot field goal. Even if you get a bad snap on the kick attempt, you don't have a timeout, so you would not have a chance to a bad snap, cover it up, call a timeout, and get a second kick. At this point, you let the clock run down to 3. It didn't hurt San Diego State because Hawaii didn't do anything with the kickoff return and didn't do anything with the one play, ending up trying to do a hook and ladder and fumbling, recovered by Cooper McDonald. But this is another thing that could have come back to bite San Diego State. That didn't, but still, most coaches would tell you run the clock down to 3, you kick it with 3 seconds, so there is no ensuing kickoff that you could give the other team a chance to, come back and get their own field goal or score a touchdown on some fluke, kickoff return. I just want to show you the camera, Gio's camera angle for Penny's play, just kind of from a different viewpoint. Just you can tell Mayden throws it up, and Penny just goes up and gets it. I think Mayden said in his radio post-game interview that Breon just told him, "Throw it to me, I'll go get it," something like that. And so the trust to have, between those two guys who necessarily haven't had a lot of reps together, was pretty nice to see. And then here is Browning's game-winning field goal, 26-yarder. Aztecs win 14-13. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick breakdown of the final game-winning drive. Aztecs are going into a bye week feeling good about themselves, at least because of the victory. Maybe not necessarily about the margin of victory, but a win is a win. They go into their bye week with trying to get the new offensive coaching staff and the new quarterback in sync so they can come out of the bye week and finish the second half of their season strong. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you next time.